Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Imholz. I'm the Executive Director of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. So excited today to be a co-host along with Mike Compton.
Hello,
Thank
folks.
you, Mike.
Yes, of course. Roombo Advertising here, and your co-host. We are super geeked out right now because we have somebody. We say special all the time, but super, super special this time. Sorry, Mayor. We always say you're special too, but this one is quite special. We've got Anita Huggins in the house, our superintendent of the Charleston School District. Say hello, Anita.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm not sure how special I am, specifically in comparison to the mayor, but I appreciate those kind of words.
Of course. Everybody's special. That comes on the show. But Anita, you're kind of on top of the list right now. Anita, where are you coming from? Are you from here? Like what?
I'm from off, but not too far off.
Okay, it's so cute how you say that. Okay, I'm sorry, you're from off. I've never heard it like that
just
before.
Up the road a piece. I grew up outside of Loris, South Carolina, in Horry County. I went to Green C. Floyd's High School.
Okay.
Where I was raised in the middle of a field, and I had a younger sister, and we grew up there, and we're really happy to be raised in that environment. We learned lots of things about hard work and dedication and commitment and the value of a public education. Two really great parents who valued education, made sure we were in school every day, never missed a day of school K-12. Yes, my mother did make me go sick. She did dose me up right regularly. She was a teacher and got married and moved here to Charleston, and we've made this our home. We've raised our 3 children here and in the public schools here in Charleston.
When did you move here, and what was your first job?
So we've been here almost 30 years. My first job was an English teacher over at Fort Johnson Middle School on James Island. I was really excited that someone in Charleston, South Carolina, would hire a country girl from Loris, South Carolina, to teach in the city, quote unquote. And I fell in love with middle school there. I always thought I'd teach high school, advanced placement English, even with this accent. But nonetheless, my first job offer was in a middle school, and I absolutely loved it. And from there, I began working with teachers, mentoring teachers, and somehow here I am today.
My mother was a retired public school, middle school teacher,
Yes.
7th grade algebra.
Oh, wow.
So I know it takes a special person.
It does.
In middle school.
It
Because
does.
that's a challenging year for those kids.
You either love middle school or you really don't. I used to tell parents, don't worry, you'll eventually get your kids back. They will come back to you. But middle school is such a special time, and I fell in love with the middle school age child. And that's really helped me raise my own 3 children through those middle school years. They can be quite challenging, as you know.
Yeah, and your kids went through the school system, I'm assuming.
They did.
And
All 3 of them.
And they go to school. Where are they now?
Yes. So all 3 of our children started at Bell Hall Elementary in Mount Pleasant. We were zoned for that school, and our oldest daughter now is at Clemson. She's a rally cat. She'll be a junior next year. That means she's a dancer. She danced her whole life. And then our middle son, Asher, just graduated from Lucy Beckham. He'll go to the University of Virginia. In the fall, which means I'll be working till I'm 135 somewhere.
Same.
He's a
somewhere.
wahoo.
He's going to be a who for sure.
I'm a Hokie. We have no idea what
Are
wahoos
you?
or Hokies are, but go ahead.
Yes, I hear there's a formidable
bit of a rivalry.
A bit of a rivalry there.
Clemson, USC.
Sort of,
a little bit.
absolutely. And then I have a rising sophomore, also at Lucy Beckham for the coming year. So all 3 of them have gone through the Charleston County Public Schools.
I'm not ready for that. My boys are 9 going into 4th grade.
You'll be fine. You'll make it.
Again,
You'll
you gotta
make
get to
it.
middle school, and then you'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
High
there
school,
they
no
are.
problem.
Okay.
No problem whatsoever. It's going to be great, Mike.
Well, I'm excited. I am. I'm excited to talk to you about the power of 1 degree. And what does that
What does
mean
that
to
mean?
you?
So our theme for this year really is around taking the system to the next level. I believe firmly that Charleston County School District can be a premier district. It really already is. But when we look nationally, I think it can be at the top of the list. And I think the public is going to be really proud of the results that we share with them when they're released in the fall by the state. We've shown significant increases across the board, grades 3 through 8 in reading and math. We've seen increases in Algebra 1, U.S. History, and English 2. Our graduation rate is going to be right at 90%. Our college and career readiness rate will be around 85%. Again, we'll share all the great work going on in our classrooms when the state formally tells us that we can, so that we believe to take the system to the next level is going to take a little bit of extra effort
Yeah.
from everyone, including me.
Well, and congratulations on that. I know that's been part of your vision for 2027, the 3 pillars
Yes.
of those areas that you just discussed. I also had read when you did an interview, not only being college and career ready, but being ready as citizens.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that?
I'm happy to. Our goal, really, pre-K through 12, is to get kids ready for whatever they want to do when they leave our system, which includes being productive citizens, being able to collaborate and communicate and think critically about the world. If we've not done that, we've not readied our youngsters to be productive with great people like you right now.
So I love that you talked about being able to communicate and collaborate, because I do think that COVID had such a negative impact in some of those formative years for our students. And I think now as this is building business. That's our podcast. So as people who are leaders in the business and the community, we recognize so much the importance of having our youth be able to have those strong communication skills. But all of that helps provide those foundations, literacy and algebra readiness, and as you talked about, some of the career and college readiness. That's so important so that they can communicate with others and be successful with whatever they want to do.
Absolutely. Our goal is to make sure kids can read and write and they can add. But at the end of the day, we often talk about it not necessarily mattering the level of your intellect if you can't communicate and things to others and work with others to produce outcomes and solutions for problems that plague whatever system you're in. So that communication piece is critically important to people being able to be successful.
Talk about the student cabinet. That's an exciting thing I heard about, and I would probably not have been a part of that, but I want to have my kids be a part of that.
Well, I'm sure your kids could be eligible for that, Mike. Student voice and student agency is critically important in our system. If you think about who our primary stakeholders are, in fact, they are our kids.
Yeah.
They are our kids, nearly 51,000 of them. And so we brought in, for the first time in a really long time, a student cabinet this year that consisted of 2 middle and high schoolers from across the district. And they came in once a month and sat down with me, and we talked about matters relative to the district, of which we thought they would have particular interest. And it would really surprise the listening public, the viewing public, and you to know that they ask us questions about things like the budget. They wanted to know about the budget. So we created Monopoly money with my face and the CFO's face on it and widely distributed it to them. And we did a couple of exercises with them. But they have given us input on things like dress code, cell phones, things that really are important to them. And when you listen to your most valuable commodity, which happens to be our students, it really helps you formulate systems that serve the system best.
So we have, with school improvement councils, we have student representatives. So I love the fact that you've elevated them to the district level, so to speak.
Absolutely. It's really important for me to hear from all stakeholder groups. And to me, they really are, forgive me, board, they really are the most important. We hear from parents, we hear from pastors, we hear from business folks, we hear from the chamber, and all the adults are really important, but the kids are most important.
But you do bring in that transparent communication with the public.
Absolutely. That is critically important to me as a superintendent. This is my community. I've lived here for nearly 3 decades. My kids have gone to school here. I've really grown up in the school system myself as a teacher, as a principal, all the things relative to education. And one thing after nearly 3 decades in the system that I know has plagued the system through no one's fault is a lack of communication or transparency. Again, not intentionally, for people to really understand what's happening, why it's happening, and how they can work with us to make it better in cases where they might not understand. So we've done a lot of different things, and Michelle Mills, our Executive Associate of Communications, has helped with that through social media, through regular communications, through opportunities like this. So thank you again for having me. I hope your ratings don't go down.
They're going up.
I'm just saying.
They'll be up.
Can't go down from here. Rebecca, what do you got up?
So I want to talk about the importance of local.
Oh, that's great.
So let's talk about local.
Sure. So local is an initiative we've launched in the last 6 months, linking opportunities to classroom and learners. And it really is a way to build an ecosystem of support for kids.
Okay.
Just very bluntly and honestly, again, in a commitment to transparent communication, if the school district could have done the work itself in elevating the achievement of all of its kids, and I mean all of its kids, special education students, children who speak English as a second language, pupils in poverty, we would have done it decades ago. No educator ever gets into education and says, I want kids to leave still not reading, right? So we've recognized that it's going to take people outside of the system to help make the system better. And local is the opportunity for businesses, sororities, church faith-based groups, small groups of whatever means to come together and say, hey, here's what we're good at, and here's how we can help. So we've had all sorts of businesses who've come to us, churches, again, our faith-based partners, and said, here's what we can do. We're this small or we're this large, and where can you utilize us best? And each school has a profile, and they've told us what 2 or 3 things they think they need for students, parents, and their teachers. And we've tried to be very strategic in how we've plugged in support systems to help schools. And it's really been quite remarkable. We've been able to open up opportunities for kids to have internships and work-based experiences, and some of our partners with the Chamber have done that. We've been able to eradicate school lunch debt in some instances. We've been able to provide school supplies and other things. We've been able to provide mentorships for teachers through this partnership. But we're always looking to grow it because we still need more. We still need more.
So how can the viewer listener learn more about it? How can they get immediately plugged in?
So we have a website. That's a great question. I'm dedicated solely to local, where we have listed each of the school's profile sheets. And businesses can see that. There's also a way to email us directly, but the public always has full access to me. I'm a little crazy and started a Facebook page recently, which has been quite rewarding to me as a human, but they can always email me directly. I'm happy to respond. It may be an early morning email, but I'll get back to folks.
And so as a chamber, we have also made the commitment to local in a variety of ways. We are having our 15th Annual Business and Community Expo September 18th.
Awesome.
And this year we added a component, a job recruitment opportunity. So CCSD is participating in that.
Yes.
So those of you out there, I highly recommend you check it out. Charleston County School District will be there. They can talk all about the job openings available.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. And actually, just yesterday, we put together 285 backpacks.
That is amazing.
Supplies. We have wonderful, generous members in our chamber, and we delivered those to St. James Santee.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know Principal McMillan will be so excited about that. In fact, I may have an email from her right now with excitement. That's just wonderful. And again, that's evidence of a community that really wants to wrap around its children, recognizing that public education really is the key to making communities the best they can be.
And you talked about internships. So throughout the district, not just in East Cooper, there's Center for Advanced Studies. That's another opportunity for kids to become career ready.
Absolutely.
And the business community, if they haven't known about that, what are the Center for Advanced Studies?
The Centers for Advanced Studies are premier centers in West Ashley, in North Charleston, and here in Mount Pleasant that offers students the opportunity to complete pathways in whatever area of college and career readiness that interests them. We have, I think, over 700 certifications that students can leave those centers with ready for the world of work. And we're constantly, in fact, we met on this just yesterday. I met with Rich Gordon, who's our executive director of our CTE programs. And he and I talked about how those programs need to be ever changing, dependent upon the community that we live, and in response to that,
and the world today,
and the world at large. So we're really excited. This Rich might be upset with me, but we believe our enrollment will increase by 50% next year in these centers. It really is remarkable. Michelle's working on that with us right now. It's a testament to our dedication to getting kids, again, ready. Not everybody wants to go to college, and that's okay. We want them ready to do whatever they want to do to be successful.
Thank you for bringing that up, Rebecca. The CAS program is really, really cool. It's got my interest as well, as far as I'm a film producer, So
really?
TV producer, ads, that type of thing. I own an advertising agency, but my part is the production side of things.
Sure.
And so I've been talking with Justin and Jeff over there at CAS Wando.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to become a substitute teacher.
Oh, that's fantastic, Mike.
Yeah. And we have somebody in common too. I was going to save this for the end, but let me just tell you a little guess who this is. He's very grumpy, but he's the sweetest man you'll ever meet. He'll do anything for you.
Okay.
But he's an ex-referee. He's an ex-vice president of Wando. Anything? I know there's a lot of vice principals out there, vice principals of Wando.
It's coming to me. A little grumpy.
Starts with an S. He's my direct neighbor. He won't let me mow the lawn on the weekends because of Clemson games.
Well, then he is really grumpy, isn't he? Oh, my God. Now how do I not know this?
I can't wait for him to hear
old.
this. His wife's name is Val.
How do I not know this?
Steve Leggett.
Steve! When you said X, that's because I thought maybe he wasn't in the system anymore.
He's still in the system.
And Steve is just wonderful,
He's
he's great, and I'm sorry he's your neighbor. You're grumpy Steve. In fact, I just saw Steve 2 days ago. He's fantastic.
Yes, but he's a big proponent of getting me into the system. So
absolutely. Well, I'd be interested in talking to you more about that because
I consider this my interview. So.
Well, then get the rubric out, Michelle. You're hired. There you go.
Yes.
But again, we need folks like you who can pour into our kids in different ways and get them ready.
We were talking with Justin and Jeff over there to maybe even edit these podcasts that we're recording right now. We're a nonprofit.
That'd be fantastic.
Little things like that could give the
real
students
life
some real life experiences.
Yeah, real
and
life
maybe
experiences.
do some membership spotlights with the that type of thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about all that stuff. And then North Charleston High as well. Let's talk about that too.
Right. The North area would be just fantastic for to plug in. They have that media center over there. The kids have, in fact, Principal Brown, they've actually produced a film that we showed several months ago to our principals. A lot of things going on. So we need to talk more about that, Mike.
Yes, ma'am.
For sure.
No problem. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Steve Leggett, we are excited you're listening. I'm just saying.
And I also want to bring up, we've talked a lot about the kids being college and career ready. As a mother, I know how important it is for when they're little to get them ready, their early childhood component. What is the school district doing for those little 4-year-olds?
That is a great question, Rebecca. Early readiness public is really key to the future success. We know that not all parents have that ability or that means, and so we're here to help. We offer as much pre-K in our schools right now as we have the means to do. Ideally, pre-K would be universal.
I would love that. Oh, my gosh.
As would I. So if the governor's listening, we would love that here in Charleston. It would be fantastic. But in the interim, I'll tell you what we've done in just the last year. And we started here in Mount Pleasant because of the number of private preschool providers and the number of students on the waiting list for pre-K here in Mount Pleasant. And we've expanded that now to working with all of our private preschool providers in Charleston County to provide education to them, to provide collaboration for them, to provide site visits to and for them. So, for example, I think one of their recent visits was out to Laurel Hill Primary so they could see what was happening in that space. Because until we have enough money and resources and space for universal pre-K, we have to get out into the community, into that ecosystem, work with it really is not a competition.
Oh my God.
This is about kids. So we have to work with our private preschool providers to make sure that together we are readying kids for kindergarten, which, we're excited about thousands of kids on August the 12th joining us for kindergarten. So we're doing our best, Rebecca, to get kids ready.
I love that. Everything from early childhood to college career readiness, building citizens for the future. I mean, that is why the school district is a Charleston original.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
I've lived here 30 years. I'm just so excited to see where the school district is now. I'm really excited and looking forward to see where it's going.
Well, that's very kind of you. We've got a great team of people. We have premier teachers in the district. They really, my job doesn't really matter. And I want the public to really know that I'm genuine. I mean, I'm honored to serve in this season. I'm humbled by the opportunity to serve in this season. I love the work, but at the end of the day, it's the teachers in the classrooms across the school district, in collaboration with the parents at home, that make the biggest difference for kids. And I want them to know that I value them as one of them. I'll always be an educator. My mother was an educator. I tried to not be an educator, but I couldn't get it out of my blood. They are doing the real work that really makes this a premier system, along with the principals and the leadership of their schools.
Yeah, you mentioned Laurel Hill. Jason Sims over there does a great job.
He
has a
star?
podcast too, by the way.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
You know, he's an author. He's all things.
Yeah.
And we're about
He's an angel, I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
I'm
not sure how angelic he is.
Well, they did a lot for us.
The last time
a lot. So.
Well, the last time I saw him, his halo was tilting a little bit. But
it might be a little tilted, but in my eyes, the man's an
Jason
angel for sure.
Sims is just wonderful. I think he taught kindergarten for 17 years. Yeah. He's a tremendous leader in this district, and there are lots of folks just like him, but he's doing a great job.
And now we're up to Tiffany Henderson. We're going up the ladder here.
Yeah, she's fantastic too. Her mother, Jean Sawicki, was a colleague of mine. You might remember Jean. She was the principal of Moultrie at one time. She was excellent. Tiffany has that in her blood as well.
I've always loved that school.
Yes, it's
they
wonderful.
They love the whole four-house.
Yes,
I still don't know the names.
It's the Ron Clark system. I do. Scary for you. I've been around a little bit. It's the
Isambindi?
I was about to say Isambindi. There are 4 different houses: green, red, blue, and black.
Yep.
And Ravel. I could almost rattle them off, but again, it's midday. My mind is just bad by midday.
But my point is, they love the point system. They love the competition. They loved the different events that they had surrounding that, and the whole Harry Potter type of house thing is really cool.
It's built on that Ron Clark, that sort of Harry Potter thing. And we have premier schools here east of the Cooper. And our goal is to make sure that all of our neighborhood schools, whether they're here in East Cooper, out in Ravenel, up in North Charleston, are schools where all parents want to send their kids, so that kids leave, again, ready for whatever's next, even if that's middle school or college at USC. Exactly. There you go. Go Tigers.
Okay. Do we have time to talk about the Education Foundation? Because
Absolutely.
For those who are, I want to help, but I simply, my day goes by quickly. Where can they send money?
I am so glad you asked, Rebecca. We are excited that we just announced the launch of the Education Foundation, which is a 501c3. It'll have its own governing board and all the things associated with foundations, whereby businesses and philanthropic partners can give to support creative, outside-of-the-box thinking about how we do business. You may have seen last year, for example, that we piloted an attendance incentive program. Some people were for it. Some people were against it.
That's the weighted student?
Well, it's a little different than the weighted student funding, but it was where we actually provided compensation to kids and families that were present in school every day. And you would be amazed at the tremendous results that we garnered through that. But it's this foundation would allow us, when the GOF won't necessarily support certain things we want to do, to have funding to do so without raising taxes necessarily. And so we're thrilled at the opportunity. We've hired an excellent, highly regarded new director, Patrick Arnold, to manage it. And we're scheduled in September to take some policies to our board, talk about it in the public, and we're thrilled the Chamber's excited about it.
Oh, yes. Very much so. I love that. I like the creativity and thinking outside the box to address problems with creative solutions.
Well, you're kind.
Well, we as a community, we know how important a thriving, productive school district is to our quality of life, frankly. And it all goes together.
Right.
So that's what we want to do as a chamber. We want to connect our businesses, our resources out there to you all, because it all works together.
Well, it really does, in partnership. And they're all of our children. And
they are all our children. Someone said
really
you don't have children anymore. I still help out with the Wando Band, and I went, yes, I do. They're all my kids.
They really are.
In my neighborhood, they're my kids.
It's really a moral imperative. It really, public education is just a moral imperative. And if we're going to be premier here in Charleston, the public school system has to reflect the excellence that the public demands.
Yep. Kind of in closing,
is it already time to wrap up?
We don't have to. I mean, it's 20 to 1. I mean, we have a good time here.
Yeah, we can just keep
look
talking.
At Michelle. Do we need to go?
No. I can get to my next destination really quickly.
You were saying
that. I know. Well, we won't discuss that.
Buzzwords: leadership is an honor, leading with humility, amplifying student agency. Those are more than just buzzwords to you, right?
To me.
So, but I love them. They're great. They're great sounding. But you put them in practice. So, what are your priorities as superintendent moving forward this year? Like, what are your top?
That's a great question.
With those buzzwords in mind.
So with those buzzwords in mind, we have a lot of those in education.
Yeah.
But in my heart, leadership matters.
Yeah.
It matters. And it starts with me. And it's important for me to lead by example. And I'm far from perfect, but I believe in kids, and I want this system to reflect that heart for kids. But our primary goals this year are really going to be focused on high quality instruction, making sure we're giving teachers the tools in the classroom that they need to be successful, and that they're really challenging students, regardless of how those students arrived at their classroom door, to be the best they can be. Second, we really want to be a student-centered, evidence-based system where we're using data in real time to make quick course adjustments when we see that kids aren't getting it.
Yep.
So it's like that old Charlie Brown cartoon where, Lucy holds the ball and Charlie Brown gets really confused, and Lucy tricks him into believing that she's going to hold it and he's going to kick it. And he keeps falling, right? Because she always does the same thing. If we know something's not going to work, we need to change it. And that's what student-focused, evidence-based decision-making. And really, lastly, we're focused on building community, professional learning communities with our educators that really focus on action and kids, not necessarily adult issues. Lots of adult issues creep into business. They creep in sometimes to churches. They creep adult issues creep in everywhere. School boards, indeed, and they creep into schools too. My job is to make sure that the work stays focused on kids.
Yes, love that.
Yeah,
love that. And then another hard question here: AI.
Absolutely.
What are we doing to benefit our children, and what are we doing to safeguard our children?
Well, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
So, we have some folks who say we need to block it, and some folks say we need to open it all up. I think the answer is really somewhere in the middle. We have to teach kids how to use AI resourcefully, respectfully, and to better themselves, and that's what we're doing. We currently have a group dedicated solely to that. They're looking at best practices across the nation and developing systems for that. We plan to engage with our student. That's one of the first topics on our student cabinet for the fall. And so we're not banning AI, but we are trying to teach kids how to use it responsibly, as we did with everything else along the way.
Internet.
That was introduced,
That's
right? Back to when we were kids, way back when in the Stone Ages, right? We had to learn. We had to learn how to use computers and the internet,
typing, typewriters,
right?
The whole thing.
Social media, all the things.
Oh.
Right. So, really, it's incumbent upon us to get kids ready, because colleges aren't banning AI. They have systems around it and honor codes around it, but they're trying to teach their college students how to responsibly use it, and that's really important for us.
I love that you have a committee.
We do.
Of pros looking into that, dedicated to that type of thing. I think every institution needs one.
It's very forward thinking.
Well, we try. Last week we had our Charleston Educator Symposium. It was really the kickoff to our 25-26 school year, and we had several sessions dedicated to AI, where we listened to feedback and we provided systems and guidelines and sort of guardrails around how we're moving forward.
Love it. Good answer.
I did the best I could, Mike.
This is your interview now.
Oh, I don't normally take over interviews, but okay.
Real quick, recruitment-wise, like myself, people like professionals that want to have another career,
absolutely.
Type of thing. There's a CTE program that's out there, because I don't have a teaching certificate, right? So there's other programs out there that we could.
Mike, we're going to never stop this interview. This is fantastic. So I want the public to know that all of our classrooms are full. We never do that in Charleston, but it's the second year we've done it in a row. Yay.
When you say that, what does that mean?
That means
a teacher.
Everybody has a certified teacher in the classroom.
So that blew my mind, because I thought that was an assuming thing, but then it's not.
But it's not. It's not.
Okay.
There's a national teacher shortage, and up until the last 2 years, we've never started the school year with all of our classrooms filled, and they're filled. Part of that's due, I think, due to our pay raises for teachers, which we start teachers now at $65,000. We've also tried to improve the quality of work. We offer employee daycare. Jason Sims, in fact, we've expanded to Mount Pleasant this year. It's already in North Charleston, West Ashley.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I did not know that.
We have employee daycare.
How brilliant is that?
We are expanding every year to a different area. But Mike, we also have the most grow your own educator programs of any district in South Carolina. So we have a Teach Charleston program.
Yep, heard about that.
Whereby people like you who are professionals.
Right, smarter than me. I got a 2.3, need a 2.75 to get into that.
Stop telling all your secrets on the air. My goodness, don't be telling all that.
Hey.
But there's an alternate route certification whereby you can attain certification.
PACE program.
Yep.
CTE program.
But Teach Charleston is our homegrown sort of PACE, which was the state's and still is the state's alternative route. So we have lots of different routes. If you're interested, if you love kids, you want to do the right thing by kids, and you want to be part of a premier system, let us know that interest, and we can help get you connected.
All right.
That's wonderful.
Perfect.
Including you, Mike.
Hey, all right.
I mean, even with a 2, would you say it was a 2.3?
Something like 2.5.
Maybe not.
We'll inflate that a little bit. You do also have volunteer programs going out there, don't you, with the school district? Like there's one coming up this Saturday for serving the unhoused and underserved event. That's really cool that you guys keep doing that type of stuff for the community.
We do. We have a homeless population that impacts hundreds of children in the Charleston County School District. And so Saturday's event is one outreach where we really try to give back. We realize that we're blessed. Many of us are very, very blessed. And so, again, as somewhat of our moral obligation to give back and to help wrap around families that need it the most so they can be the best for their kids. Because nobody ever had a kid and said, I don't want to serve them well. Like, that's really not in our DNA. We want to do the right thing. Everybody's just not always able. So we're here to provide help as we can.
Love it. You're doing the right thing.
We're
Anita
trying.
Huggins, appreciate you.
Absolutely appreciate you too.
I need you to go back
Mike.
to work, though, actually.
I do need to go back to work. I've got a lot of things to do. I think I got 49 emails sitting here just these 29 minutes. I'm just saying. But it's great to see you.
Yes, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you too, Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was a wonderful conversation.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I really do. And I appreciate your commitment to our kids.
Yeah.
It's going to take all of us together. And I hope those listening today will really embrace that.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. Mount Pleasant.